Yo, what's up? This is the Prophet X. Welcome to Prophecy Productions. I have a special guest in the studio with me today. Tell him who you are.
What's up, man? My name is Stilly B.
Stilly B. He's one of the artists that is signed to Prophecy Records. And coming up very soon, he's also going to be one of the producers on Prophecy Productions as we get ready to launch Prophecy Productions Orange County.
That's right.
A studio in his house. Going to be awesome.
Right. We're going to have Prophecy Productions in 2017 in Orange County. That's right. You heard correctly. You're going to be able to have all of the benefits of being able to have Prophecy Productions record and mix and master your stuff, but straight out of the Orange County. And I know there's a lot of OC artists out there who want that and need that, and that's a blessing that I'm going to be able to offer that to you.
Awesome. So check it out. Today, I have 3 tips for rappers recording rhymes. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back. Check this out. Today I have 3 tips for rappers recording rhymes. Tip number 1. Now, the reason we have Stilly here, he's one of the artists on Prophecy Records, and we spend a lot of time in the studio together.
Yep.
Right now, we are working on his 2nd album on Prophecy Records, so we spend a lot of time coaching and mentoring, and I just came up with 3 tips that I want to share with you guys that will make your next recording session much better. Tip number 1 is probably the most important tip.
Which one?
Listen to your producer.
Wait, what?
No, seriously, listen.
For real, though.
A lot of rappers come into the studio and they think, yo, I got my rhyme down. I already know my swag. They got it figured out exactly how they want to do it. And they're not willing to listen to someone give them advice on, well, maybe you ought to add some more energy, or maybe you want to do this or do that.
Right.
The producer is there in the studio to encourage you and to help you take it to the next level.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree. It's kind of, think of it as like your rap coach, right? If you was in a sport, right, you have a coach, and the coach, he doesn't necessarily always play anymore, but he knows the game, and he's been in the game, and he can help you. He's there to help you become a better you.
That's a great analogy. I totally believe that. So tip number 1 is listen to the producer. Tip number 2 is practice your rhyme before you actually get to the studio. A lot of times rappers come into the studio and they're busting one of these, Stilly. They have the rhyme on a piece of paper and they're holding it and it's shaking because they're scared.
Right.
Practice the rhyme before it's time to record it, right?
That's very true, and as an artist, I'm going to give you a little tip on how to do this, okay? This is something that I've done for years. So you do write your rhymes on either a paper, or if you're new school, right, you write your rhymes on a phone, okay? And when you're practicing your rhymes on your way to the studio, at your house, the day before you record, you're getting it ready. If for whatever reason you get to the studio and you still don't got it 100%, put your rhymes somewhere where you can see it, and don't hold it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not holding it, so you're going like this, right? Put it on a wall, something. And because I'm old school, I write my rhymes like I type them, right? But what I do, Microsoft Word has a beautiful thing called fonts, right? I can make my font really big, and then I just put my font on the wall, so now I can see it clearly.
Absolutely.
And then it makes for a better presentation when you're rapping your rhyme.
That's the sound of somebody stealing Stilly B's car.
I'll be out. So check it out. When you writing your rhymes, and I'm going to give you this tip, of course.
Somebody's calling Stilly B on the phone because his tips are so high.
That's right. They be blowing me up all the time for this stuff, dude. So check it out. When you're writing your rhymes and you are practicing them and stuff like that, if you haven't got it 100% when you get to the studio, that's cool. Make the font big enough. Go type it out. Make the font big enough so you can post it on a wall or on a mic or somewhere where you can see it.
I don't know what's going on. There's some type of alarm. Maybe the tips we're given are way too hot. Yeah.
And that way, that will allow you to still look at your rhyme, but you'll be able to punch it and hit the delivery.
Absolutely. One thing that I want to add, when practicing your rhyme, if you know there's a rough spot in your rhyme where you need to rap in double time or triple time, work that part out more than the part that's really easy. And come into the studio and be like, I have my rhyme down, except for this last 8 bars, I'm gonna rap double time, and I need help with that.
Right.
And then that ties back into tip number 1, which is listen to your producer. Listen to your producer. If he tells you, okay, well, you need to take a breath and pause and then deliver 16 beats. listen to what he's saying. He's helping you make the whole thing better.
That's right. It is not your job to try to do it all in one take. Sometimes Prophet called it the one take wonder because I've been able to do that. But there are times when I'll have to do more than one take, and that's okay, because what you're making is a song. See, people don't see you when you're doing this, so they don't know how many takes it took you to get your song together. And it's okay if it takes you more than 1, 5, whatever it takes.
I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. I'm like the 52 take wonder. Seriously, because
we wonder about that
because I'm operating the controls and I'm behind the microphone at the same time, and I will literally rap 4 bars and then stop, and then punch in my next 4 bars, punch in my next 4 bars, because you're not performing live, you're recording a performance. You want to get the maximum amount of energy in that, and that leads us into tip number 3, which is when you are delivering your rhyme on the microphone, be convincing.
Oh my goodness, that is so important. I'm going to tell you a little story. So when I first came to Prophecy Records about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, Prophet told me, he was like, you're a rapper, but you're not yet an artist. And the difference between that is someone who is a rapper just writes rhymes in raps. And that's fine. But you're an artist when you can start really convincing people what you're saying is what you believe, and you're passionate about your track that you are performing. And so in order to do that, you have to feel all the emotion in your track. Don't come to the studio when you just woke up if you're not ready.
Right. If your song is supposed to be hype,
be hype.
Don't come in when you're feeling like this. Recording the right song at the right time with the right energy.
It's crucial to your album production. It is also crucial to your album's energy. If you are not convincing, what happens is the energy in your album goes down when it should go up, or it goes up when it should go down, and you want people to feel you, and they can't do that if you're not feeling, not yourself, but the song that you're trying to make.
Absolutely. I think what's most important, especially in Christian rap, now most of you guys know we're both Christian rap artists, we have to convince people that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And if we present our rhymes or our delivery in a way where we barely believe it, then how are they going to be convinced that it's real?
Right. And we have the absolute truth, and we have the highest order of convincing to do. You can convince me you bought a Cadillac, and that's cool, but for me to convince you that the King of Kings, the invisible but also visible King of Kings is true, I've got to believe it, and I have to deliver it with such heart that when you hear me, you go, oh, he believes this. Because you don't see me first. Most of you probably never met me before. But when you hear me, you can go, oh, I can relate.
If you guys think about some of your favorite rappers, you might think it's their lyrics or their delivery that makes them your favorite. You might think it's the beats that they rap on. But to be honest with you, ask yourself this. Do you believe what your favorite rapper is saying? Does he convince you that what he's saying, if it's DMX and he's telling you how loco he is, you believe that dude is crazy?
For a long time I thought he was mad crazy.
For us as rappers that are on the come up, we need to also be able to convince people that what we say is true, and that will cause them to follow us.
That's very true, and it's so true that you even think of people who are infamous, right? Like bad people who've done bad stuff. They convinced a lot of people to follow him. Mussolini convinced a lot of people to follow him with his words, not with his face. With his words. He just didn't stare at you and go like, and you were like, I'm gonna follow you. No, he was convincing. One of the things that Prophet always says about me is that I'm animated, if you can't already tell. And that is how you can convince people in your music. If you're animated, if your song has a high point, be animated. It's okay to let your voice fluctuate, and that will help people. When I'm naturally talking to Prophet, my voice fluctuates. I don't monotone talk to you.
And as he says something that has more energy, he'll go up. Same thing in your rhyme. When you're saying something, when you get to your punchline or that part that you really want to stand out, it has to be delivered in a manner that makes it stand out from the rest of the rhyme.
That's right. And if you are doing your so there's the regular part of the rhyme, then you have your backups, right? And those backups are how you encourage the rhyme, basically.
That's right.
In order to do that, those backups have to have slightly more energy sometimes than the regular rhyme, because now what you're adding is a punch, and then you have your pickups behind that, which add flavor, and those have even more energy.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. Listen, this is the Prophet X, my boy Stilly B from Prophecy Records. Look out for his new album, which is dropping in July of 2017. What's the album called?
Cardiac Analysis. Remember that name?
Check Your Heart. Look out for his album coming out on Prophecy Records. Three tips, one more time. Listen, number one is listen to your producer. Number two is practice your rhyme before you get to the studio. And tip number three is be convincing. If you like this video, I want you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and other rappers that you know. And follow me on the next tip and tutorial right here on Prophecy Productions.
Much love. Peace.